Hello and welcome. Let's have an honest chat for a moment. Does that first step out of bed in the morning send a jolt through your knees? Is getting up from your favorite armchair starting to feel like a major life event you have to brace for? If you're nodding your head, you are far from alone. According to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, or CDC, nearly half of all adults aged 65 and older report having doctor-diagnosed arthritis. And for those of us over 75, that number jumps to a staggering 53.9%. This isn't just a minor ache. But here's the secret that often gets lost in a quick 15-minute doctor's visit. While medications are a critical and often necessary tool, your grocery cart can be one of the most powerful allies you have in this fight. We're not talking about expensive, unproven supplements. In fact, we'll touch on why trusted institutions like the Mayo Clinic remain skeptical of many of those claims. We are talking about real, delicious, whole food. And if you've been telling yourself, well, this is just what getting older feels like, I'm here today to respectfully challenge that idea. While we can't turn back the clock, we absolutely can take back control over our comfort and our quality of life. In the next 25 minutes, we're going on a journey through the produce aisle. We're going to count down the top 8 fruits that can help your body rebuild its natural joint cushion, a protein called collagen, and powerfully fight off the inflammation that causes so much of that stiffness, swelling, and pain. This is about giving you a practical toolkit to start reclaiming your comfort and mobility, one delicious bite at a time. The problem we're tackling today is really twofold. On one hand, you have the physical wearing down of our joints' natural shock absorbers. On the other, you have chronic, low-grade inflammation that makes everything feel stiff, swollen, and painful. Our ambitious goal today is to show you how you can begin to fight both of these problems using nothing more than the power of fruit. To understand how this works, we need to talk about one key protein, collagen. Think of collagen as the glue or the structural scaffolding that holds your body together. It makes up about 30% of all the protein in your body. It's a massive component of your skin, bones, and tendons. But most importantly for our conversation, it's the primary building block of the cartilage that cushions your joints. But here's the catch that many of us are feeling right now. As we age, our body's internal collagen factory starts to slow down. Production begins to decline around age 25 or 30, and after age 40, we lose about 1% of our collagen every single year. By age 80, our collagen-making ability has dropped significantly. The cartilage gets thinner, less spongy, and that dreaded bone-on-bone feeling starts to creep into our knees, hips, and hands. But our bodies are amazing machines. They can still make new collagen. They just need the right raw materials to do the job. And arguably the most important raw material, the master key to this whole process, is vitamin C. Vitamin C is absolutely essential for the body to synthesize or create new collagen. Without enough vitamin C, the collagen factory essentially shuts down. And that, my friends, is where our countdown of powerful fruits begins. So here's our plan. We're going to count down the top 8 collagen-boosting, inflammation-fighting fruits, starting with a familiar friend at number 8 and working our way to the undisputed champion at number 1. For each fruit, we'll talk about why it works based on the science. We'll give you a simple action step to get it into your diet. And this is critical. We'll cover any red flags or potential medication interactions you absolutely need to be aware of. We'll be drawing on information from trusted sources like the Arthritis Foundation, the Cleveland Clinic, and research published in major medical journals to give you the most complete picture possible. You'll definitely want to stick around for our top 3. One of them contains a natural enzyme that some studies suggest works a lot like ibuprofen for osteoarthritis pain. And the fruit at number 1 is a well-researched powerhouse for tackling both osteoarthritis and the excruciating pain of gout. And a quick but important reminder, I am not a doctor. This video is for informational and educational purposes only, and is not a substitute for professional medical advice. The red flags we discuss are meant to help you have a more informed conversation with your personal physician, who knows your health history best. Always consult them before making any significant changes to your diet, especially if you're taking prescription medications. All right, kicking off our list at number 8 is a household classic, a true staple of the American kitchen, the humble orange, along with its citrus cousins like lemons and limes. The reason citrus fruits are on this list is simple and powerful. They are famous for their vitamin C content. And as we just learned, vitamin C is the essential spark plug for your body's collagen factory. It plays a critical role in linking amino acids, the building blocks of protein, together to form that strong, flexible collagen matrix that cushions your joints. You can think of it this way. You can have all the bricks and mortar in the world, but without the construction crew, which in this case is vitamin C, you simply can't build the wall. Research from the Arthritis Foundation explicitly states that getting the right amount of vitamin C is crucial for preventing inflammatory arthritis and for maintaining healthy joints in those who already have osteoarthritis. We all remember our parents or grandparents telling us to drink our orange juice to avoid a cold. It was the go-to remedy for boosting our immune system, but it turns out they were also giving us one of the most fundamental building blocks for long-term joint health without even realizing it. It's one of those wonderful pieces of simple wisdom that modern science is now proving to be more right than we ever knew. The action step here is wonderfully simple. A single medium orange can provide a huge portion of your daily vitamin C needs. Try to think beyond just a glass of juice in the morning. Squeeze fresh lemon into your water throughout the day. Add bright, sweet orange segments to a spinach salad. The goal is to see citrus not just as a breakfast item, but as an all-day ingredient that supports your body's repair systems. Now for our first and very important red flag. While oranges are generally safe for most people, we need to talk about their cousin, grapefruit. If you are on certain medications, you must be extremely cautious. This is especially true for some of the most common statin drugs used to lower cholesterol, like Lipitor, atorvastatin, and Zocor, simvastatin. Grapefruit contains compounds that can interfere with how your body metabolizes these drugs, leading to dangerously high levels in your blood, which can increase the risk of serious side effects like liver and muscle damage. Grapefruit can also interact with certain blood pressure medications and other drugs. While orange juice is generally considered a safer alternative if you're on blood thinners like warfarin, some blood pressure medications can still be affected by it. The bottom line is this: if you love grapefruit or drink a lot of citrus juice and are on any prescription medication, this is a perfect example of a conversation you need to have with your doctor or pharmacist to ensure your safety. So, we've covered the classic, but coming in at number 7 is a small, fuzzy fruit that actually packs an even bigger vitamin C punch. Coming in at number 7 is the fuzzy little powerhouse from New Zealand, the kiwi. You might be surprised to learn that ounce for ounce, a kiwi often contains more vitamin C than an equivalent-sized orange. This fact alone makes it an absolute superstar for collagen production. But the benefits don't stop there. Kiwis are also loaded with a host of other antioxidants and beneficial plant compounds called polyphenols, like caffeic acid, which have their own anti-inflammatory effects throughout the body. So with a kiwi, you're getting an extra large dose of the raw material for your collagen factory, plus some extra help calming down the inflammation that causes pain and stiffness. I think for many of us, kiwis were this exotic fruit we saw in the grocery store, but maybe weren't quite sure what to do with. But they couldn't be easier to enjoy. Just slice one in half and scoop out the bright green flesh with a spoon. A friend of mine, after her doctor encouraged her to increase her vitamin C intake, started eating one kiwi every day. She told me she not only felt a bit more energetic, but she loved having such an easy, no-mess way to get a healthy and delicious snack into her daily routine. Your action step is to pick up a few kiwis on your next grocery trip. Aim to eat one a day for a week and see how you feel. They're perfectly ripe when they give just a little to gentle pressure. You can add them to yogurt, slice them into fruit salads, or just enjoy them on their own. As an added bonus, early research has even suggested that eating 2 kiwis a day may help with constipation, which can be another frustrating concern for many of us. Now for the red flag, and this is a big one, because kiwi has properties that can affect both blood pressure and blood clotting. You need to be cautious if you are on blood pressure medications or blood thinners like warfarin, Coumadin. Early research suggests eating kiwi might lower blood pressure, which could cause it to go too low if you're already taking medication for it. Furthermore, kiwi contains a notable amount of vitamin K, the very vitamin that blood thinners like warfarin are designed to work against. On top of that, some evidence suggests kiwi might slow blood clotting on its own. This doesn't mean you can never eat another kiwi, but it does mean that consistency is key, and it's a conversation you absolutely must have with your doctor to ensure your medication levels remain safe and effective. From the tropical and tangy, let's move to a summertime favorite that's a true inflammation fighter. That brings us to number 6. At number 6, we have a fruit that signals the start of summer for so many of us: the sweet, juicy strawberry. Strawberries deliver that powerful 1-2 punch we're looking for. First, they are absolutely bursting with vitamin C to help with that all-important collagen synthesis. But their real superpower comes from their vibrant red color. That beautiful color is thanks to compounds called anthocyanins, which are potent antioxidants with impressive anti-inflammatory properties. One study, cited by the Arthritis Foundation, showed that women who ate 16 or more strawberries a week had lower levels of C-reactive protein, or CRP, in their blood. CRP is a key medical marker of body-wide inflammation, the very thing that makes arthritis flare up and cause pain. So you can think of eating strawberries as sending in a specialized team to actively cool down the fire in your joints. Here's a way to think about it. Imagine you've had a really bad sunburn. Your skin is red, hot, swollen, and painful. That's a very visible type of inflammation. The inflammation happening inside our joints is similar, just hidden from view. The anthocyanin compounds in strawberries work like a soothing balm, helping to calm that internal redness and irritation that leads to so much discomfort. Your action step is to try and incorporate a cup of strawberries into your diet a few times a week. And remember, frozen strawberries are just as nutritious as fresh ones, and they're available year-round. They are wonderful added to your morning oatmeal or cereal, blended into a smoothie with some yogurt, or just enjoyed in a simple bowl for dessert. They are also naturally low in sugar and have a low glycemic index, making them a fantastic choice, especially for those who need to be mindful of their blood sugar levels. The red flags for strawberries are actually more like green lights for certain people, which is great news. First, For anyone taking the common arthritis medication methotrexate, which is known to deplete the body's supply of folic acid, strawberries are a good natural source of it. While you may still need a folic acid supplement as prescribed by your doctor, it's a very helpful dietary addition. Second, as we just mentioned, their low sugar content makes them one of the better fruit choices for individuals managing diabetes. As always, if you have any specific health conditions, a quick chat with your doctor about making a new food a daily habit is always a smart and responsible move. Strawberries are fantastic, but they're not the only berry on our list. Coming in at number 5, we have a duo of dark berries that bring another crucial element to the collagen building party. For our number 5 spot, we're bringing in two heavy hitters together, the deep, dark-colored duo of blackberries and blueberries. Just like their red cousin, the strawberry, both of these berries are absolutely loaded with those inflammation-fighting anthocyanins. That's what gives them their beautiful, deep blue and rich purple colors. A good rule of thumb in the produce aisle is that the darker and more brilliant the color of a fruit or vegetable, the more antioxidant power it tends to have. These berries also, of course, provide a healthy dose of vitamin C for building that joint cushioning collagen. But blackberries bring a secret weapon to the table, the mineral manganese. You don't hear as much about manganese, but it's another vital cofactor, just like vitamin C, that your body needs to form collagen and maintain healthy bones. So with blackberries, you're giving your body's collagen factory another one of its essential tools to get the job done right. My grandfather used to have a blackberry bush in his backyard, and every summer, his hands would be stained purple for weeks from picking them. He swore by them. He didn't know a thing about manganese or anthocyanins. The action step here is all about color. Fill your bowl with these dark, rich berries. A 3/4 cup serving is a great target to aim for. They are fantastic on their own, mixed into plain yogurt, or even tossed into a savory salad with some grilled chicken for a surprising burst of flavor. And don't forget, frozen berries are just as nutritious as fresh ones, and they are often more affordable and available year-round. Now for the red flag. Here again, we need to talk about vitamin K and the common blood thinner warfarin, Coumadin. Both blackberries and blueberries contain a significant amount of vitamin K. If you are on warfarin, your doctor has prescribed a specific dose based on your current, consistent intake of vitamin K. Suddenly, starting to eat a large bowl of berries every single day when you weren't before can interfere with your medication's effectiveness and throw your levels out of balance. The key word is consistency. Don't avoid these healthy foods, but do talk to your doctor about maintaining a steady intake so your medication can be managed properly. To make things even more interesting, some laboratory research has suggested that certain compounds found in blackberry seeds, called polysaccharides, may have their own mild blood-thinning effects, making that conversation with your doctor even more important. All right, that brings us to the halfway point. We've covered some amazing and accessible fruits. Let's take a quick breath and recap before we dive into our top 4. Okay, let's hit the pause button for a moment. We've covered our first 4 powerhouses, the vitamin C classic, citrus. We've also seen a very clear and important pattern emerge. The more potent a fruit's natural compounds are, the more important it is to be smart about how it fits in with any medications you're taking. This knowledge is power. It puts you in the driver's seat of your own health, allowing you to make informed choices. And by the way, if you're finding this information helpful and empowering, do me a quick favor and tap that like button down below. It's a small thing, but it tells YouTube that this is valuable content and helps other folks just like you find our community. Thank you so much for that. Now, are you ready for the top 4? This is where we get into the fruits that contain special, powerful enzymes and have been the subject of some really exciting clinical research. Let's get to it. Breaking into our top 4, at number 4 is the beautiful, vibrant tropical fruit, papaya. Papaya certainly contains its share of vitamin C, but its real claim to fame is a special enzyme called papain. Papain is what's known as a proteolytic enzyme, which simply means it helps break down proteins. In the body, it's believed to have powerful anti-inflammatory effects. Some scientific research suggests that papain may help reduce the inflammation and swelling associated with joint conditions like bursitis. So, while the other fruits we've discussed are providing building blocks and general antioxidant support, papaya is bringing its own unique cleanup crew right to the site of inflammation to help soothe the area. Here's a fascinating fact. Papain is actually the key active ingredient in many commercial meat tenderizers. It works by breaking down the tough connective tissues in the meat, making it more tender. Now, imagine that same gentle, tenderizing effect on the stiff, swollen, and inflamed tissues around your joints. It's a simplified analogy, of course, but it helps to visualize how this unique enzyme can offer a different kind of relief than just vitamins and antioxidants alone. Your action step is to look for ripe papayas, which typically have a yellowish-orange skin and feel slightly soft to the touch. You can eat it as is, add cubes of it to smoothies, or make a delicious tropical fruit salad. A small bowl a few times a week is a great way to get its benefits. Just be sure the fruit is fully ripe, as unripe papaya contains a natural latex that can be irritating to some people. Now for the red flag, and this is one of the most important ones on our entire list. The enzyme papain can significantly increase the effects of the blood thinner warfarin, Coumadin, which can raise your risk of bruising and, more seriously, dangerous bleeding. If you are taking warfarin, it is absolutely critical that you speak with your doctor before adding papaya to your diet. It may also interact with medications for diabetes by lowering blood sugar, so caution is needed there as well. This is a fruit with potent effects, and it demands respect and a professional medical opinion. Papaya's enzyme is powerful, but our number 3 fruit contains an even more famous and well-researched enzyme for joint pain. Let's talk about the fruit of hospitality. At number 3, we have a fruit that's a symbol of welcome and hospitality all over the world: the sweet, tangy pineapple. Pineapple's secret weapon is an enzyme mixture called bromelain. Bromelain is a true powerhouse when it comes to fighting pain and swelling. In fact, it has been the subject of numerous clinical studies. Some of this research has found bromelain to be an effective pain reliever for people with osteoarthritis, with some researchers even suggesting it works in a way that is similar to non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, NSAIDs, like ibuprofen. It's a natural anti-inflammatory that goes right to the source of the discomfort. While it's true that the highest concentration of bromelain is found in the tough, inedible core of the pineapple, eating the sweet flesh of the fruit still provides your body with this amazing compound. Have you ever experienced that slightly tingly or prickly feeling in your mouth when you eat a lot of fresh pineapple? That's the bromelain at work, actively breaking down proteins right there on your tongue. It's a little reminder of just how active and powerful that enzyme is. Now, imagine that same power going to work on the inflammatory proteins that are causing aches and pains in your joints. Your action step is to enjoy a cup of fresh pineapple chunks a few times a week. It's fantastic in a fruit salad, delicious when grilled alongside chicken or pork, or blended into a morning smoothie. If you want to get the absolute most bromelain, you can even try blending a small piece of the core into your smoothie. Just make sure you have a powerful blender that can break down those tough fibers. Just like with papaya, the power of bromelain comes with a very serious warning. Bromelain can slow blood clotting and has a significant interaction with blood thinners. This includes prescription drugs like warfarin and Plavix, and even over-the-counter medications like aspirin. Combining pineapple or bromelain supplements with these medications can increase your risk of bleeding and bruising. Because of this potent effect, it's also recommended that you stop eating pineapple at least 2 weeks before any scheduled surgery. This is a non-negotiable safety precaution and a critical conversation to have with your healthcare provider. The enzymes in pineapple and papaya are incredible, but our next fruit is backed by compelling clinical research showing it can directly improve mobility and reduce pain for people with one of the most common forms of arthritis. We met blueberries earlier in our countdown, but they have absolutely earned this special spot here at number 2 for a very specific reason: the strength of the scientific evidence directly linking them to arthritis relief. Beyond just being a general antioxidant powerhouse, blueberries have been put to the test in rigorous clinical trials with actual osteoarthritis patients. One particularly impressive study, published in the scientific journal Nutrients, had a group of adults with symptomatic knee osteoarthritis consume freeze-dried blueberry powder every day for 4 months. The results were remarkable. Compared to the placebo group, the people eating blueberries reported significant decreases in their everyday pain, their morning stiffness, and the difficulty they had performing daily activities. Even more impressively, they showed measurable improvements in their walking gait, meaning they could walk more comfortably and with better balance. This isn't just a theory. Imagine being able to walk to the mailbox with a little less stiffness in your step, or being able to stand and cook dinner for your family with a little less of that deep, aching pain. That's the kind of meaningful change this research points to. It's not about becoming a marathon runner overnight. Based on this research, consistency is the key. The action step is to try and make blueberries a regular, daily part of your diet. The study used a convenient freeze-dried powder, but eating a cup of fresh or frozen blueberries daily is a fantastic and delicious goal. As an added benefit, the American Diabetes Association even calls blueberries a diabetes superfood because of their low glycemic index and their potential to help with glucose processing and insulin sensitivity. As we covered before, the main red flag for blueberries is their vitamin K content, which is an important consideration for anyone taking warfarin. The advice remains the same: maintain a consistent intake and keep your doctor in the loop so your medication can be managed effectively. Interestingly, the research on blueberries and blood pressure is a bit mixed. Some studies show a clear benefit, especially in people with existing high blood pressure, while others show no significant effect. This just highlights that nutrition can be complex and affect everyone differently. But the positive evidence for joint health remains strong and compelling. We've seen vitamins, antioxidants, and powerful enzymes. We've seen compelling clinical evidence. But there is one fruit that stands out above all the rest, famous for its potent effects on 2 of the most painful forms of arthritis. It's time for our number 1. And here we are, at the number 1 spot, the undisputed champion in the fruit world for fighting joint pain and inflammation is the tart cherry. Tart cherries, especially varieties like Montmorency, are truly in a league of their own. They are absolutely packed to the brim with anthocyanins, the same powerful anti-inflammatory compounds we found in berries, but often in much higher and more potent concentrations. The effect is so pronounced that some researchers have even compared the anti-inflammatory properties of cherries to those of non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, or NSAIDs. They are a recognized powerhouse for osteoarthritis, with studies showing they can help reduce both pain and stiffness. But what makes tart cherries truly unique is their famous ability to help with gout. Gout, as many know, is an excruciatingly painful form of inflammatory arthritis caused by a buildup of sharp uric acid crystals in the joints, most famously in the big toe. Dozens of studies, stretching back for years, have shown that tart cherries and concentrated tart cherry juice can effectively lower uric acid levels in the blood, and as a result, significantly reduce the frequency and severity of painful gout attacks. A gentleman I know used to suffer from terrible gout flares in his big toe. He described the pain as feeling like his toe was on fire and someone was grinding glass into the joint. His doctor, alongside his prescription medication, suggested he try drinking a small glass of tart cherry juice every day. After a few months of this routine, he told me that the flares were happening much less frequently and were far less severe when they did occur. For him, it was a simple, life-changing addition to his overall management plan. Since fresh tart cherries can be hard to find in stores, concentrated tart cherry juice is the most studied and accessible option. The Arthritis Foundation suggests that drinking a glass of tart cherry juice or simply eating a handful of cherries daily can be beneficial. When buying juice, look for 100% juice with no added sugars to get the maximum benefit without unnecessary sweeteners. Because they are so potent, the red flags for tart cherries are extremely important and must be taken seriously. They can interact with several common medications. This includes blood pressure medications like ACE inhibitors and beta blockers, as well as blood thinners. Because they contain natural sugars and can affect blood sugar levels, those with diabetes should also consult their doctor before making tart cherry juice a daily habit. This is not a food to add to your diet without a professional medical consultation if you are on any of these common medications. And there you have it, our top 8, from the common orange to the mighty tart cherry. So what does this all mean for you? So as we've seen today, tackling joint pain isn't about finding one single magic fruit or a magic pill. It's about understanding the why behind the pain, the gradual breakdown of our natural collagen cushion, and the persistent fire of inflammation. And it's about making a series of small, intelligent choices every single day to fight back on both of those fronts. It's about giving your body that powerful 1-2 punch of vitamin C to help rebuild, and potent antioxidants and enzymes to calm things down. The most important message I want you to leave with today is this: you are the chief executive of your own health. You have more power and more control than you might think. By understanding how these delicious foods work, and, just as importantly, how they might interact with your unique health needs and medications, you can have informed, productive conversations with your doctor. You can become an active partner in your own wellness journey. And that is the very definition of maintaining your independence and your vitality. Now, I truly want to hear from you. Which of these fruits was the biggest aha moment for you? Or maybe you have your own story about how changing your diet has helped your joints. Please share it in the comments section below. I read every single one, and your story might be the one that inspires someone else to take that first step. If you enjoyed this deep dive and you want more practical, science-backed content to help you live a healthier, more vibrant life, please be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the little notification bell so you don't miss our next video. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. It's an honor to be a part of your health journey. Here's to your health, to less pain, and to more joyful movement. I'll see you in the next video.